Hello, Star Wars fans. Mando Mitchy back. Today, we're going to be looking at a vintage collection action figure from the Ahsoka series, Baylan Skoll. Remember, smash a like and subscribe if you find this content valuable, and let's dig in and take a look at Baylan Skoll. I have been excited for some releases, but this action figure was at the top of my list. I wouldn't say that I'm an absolute huge fan of the Ahsoka series. I like it. I love really all things Star Wars. But I wouldn't rank this up in my mind with the original trilogy or The Mandalorian. Those two are the tops. But I would say it was pretty good. And I would say it was pretty good because of some of the new Star Wars figures that characters that were brought into the Star Wars saga and adding to the lore and legend of Star Wars. And Baylan Skoll is at the top of my list. Yeah, if you take a look at this, just the card art, the scene of Ray Stevenson, the photo, amazing. I love the light blue pill color on the back, and just a beautiful carded figure. I'm not a carded collector. I buy two of a few figures, very few, and it's really the ones that I love the card art, I love the figure, and I'm going to display that in my work office, and I've got limited room, so I really only go, in my estimation, the best of the best, and I chose to pre-order two of these guys. So yeah, taking a look at the back of the card, you can see a little bit great pose with him, and we're looking at VC 355. So wonderful character that was released in the Ahsoka series. Sadly, the actor Ray Stevenson passed after that series had finished up and before season 2 had been announced, and that, so we're never going to see him again in a role unless they CGI him in or something like that. We already know that they've named his replacement, and it's the guy who plays the Hound in Game of Thrones, another great actor, and I think it's going to be great. But really sad to see Ray Stevenson gone, and to look at the Star Wars universe that we've lost Carl Weathers and now Ray Stevenson. Just sad to see them having passed. Great body of work on both of those men, and loved everything that they did. So yeah, I do just hate that we won't be seeing him again in Star Wars, but love what he left behind and the legacy of Baylan Skoll. So yeah, VC 355. Definitely an action figure that's worth buying two and keeping one carded. So really like the look of this figure. So looking at the figure itself, this is just remarkable. I can't say enough about the head sculpt, the soft plastic on his cloak. His lightsaber is very unique to him. Love that. He does come with an unlit hilt too, and you see that there's a hole to mount that as well. But yeah, overall, just a beautiful action figure. And the way that things are set up and designed, the vintage collection is the definitive action figure collection, meaning that we should get the best of the best. And looking at this action figure, I don't know what I would have improved on it. The only criticism I have over this, and it's very similar to some of the other action figures that you get, you can see that we've got a rear peg hole in the heel for him for a stand, and to call that shallow would be an exaggeration. It is almost non-existent. I don't think there's any way any of the stands that I have, now maybe some of the ones that actually the foot of the figure fits in that slot. I think Ian Butler has some of those. I've never purchased some, but I've seen them reviewed. That might work, but it's going to be tough to do some dynamic posing with it because of that. And I found that to be true also with his protege, Shin-Ha-Ti. She has very shallow peg holes in the heels, and I have a lot of trouble getting her to stand up as well. So something that we're seeing, we'll just have to adjust, but that's the only thing that I can criticize. This is just an excellent action figure. And I love the look. He has just that look where he would fit in a diorama with Game of Thrones figures. He would fit in a diorama with Lord of the Rings figures. And actually, I'm going to pull out some of my Rohirrim figures that I picked up a while back. I've not opened them, but just to do some comparison, I think this guy would fit in any of that. Just such a magnificent action figure that could be used in world building in a lot of different instances. So I love the look of this guy. I love the story behind him too, and really this guy is somewhat of an enigma right now. We learned a little bit about him in the Ahsoka series, meaning that he was in the Jedi ranks. From what I could find, internet researchers, more we don't know about him than we know, but they thought that he was a Jedi Knight and somehow survived the Purge when Order 66 came out. So how that happened, we don't know. But as we see in the Ahsoka series, that he aligned himself with Grand Admiral Thrawn, Morgan Elsbeth, the Night Sisters, and some of those after the fall of the Empire. So he said, as he went to get Morgan Elsbeth and break her out, we are no Jedi. But then he told Ahsoka later on that he knew Anakin Skywalker. And I thought maybe to start with, maybe he was a youngling and he survived that somehow. You know, we see that in the Obi-Wan story, how Reva was there and she survived, and maybe that. But as I researched it more, it sounds like, no, he was already a Jedi Knight during that, and that he knew Anakin Skywalker. So that leads us to look at his age and that, and as he is in this series, the legend and lore that comes from Baylan Skoll, and how he really didn't seem real interested in what Thrawn was trying to do. He definitely didn't seem interested in what the Republic and Ahsoka and Hera and Ezra and Sabine and all of them were doing, but he almost gave us the idea that he had other ideas, that there was another way, like he had transcended the madness in this world. And as he went to that area of the ruins and was just brought up so many possibilities, so many ideas. So I was so excited. And not being a huge fan of the Ahsoka series, I was a fan of what might be coming, and just seemed so fresh and new, and another storyline that would come out of what we would look at like this Mandoverse and post original trilogy. So excited to see where that goes. Yeah, I definitely will watch the Ahsoka season 2, and excited about that. And saddened that we don't have Ray Stevenson anymore. But yeah, former Jedi Knight, not a Jedi. Obviously Force sensitive. Not really Sith, maybe Sith adjacent. I don't know how we would determine this, and I'm excited to see what we can find out about him. So I am definitely a fan of this figure, definitely a fan of the legend and lore that comes with him now. and am excited to see what's coming down the pipe. So I'm going to set up a few different poses. I don't have all the Ahsoka figures. I don't buy everything from the vintage collection. I buy stuff that I really like, and like I said, I'm an OTC guy and original trilogy collector, and also Mandoverse, and then other stuff. I like to do that as well. But I have bought some of these Ahsoka figures, like I showed his protege Shin Hati, Ahsoka, Morgan Elsbeth. Some of the things I wish I had. I'm really interested in seeing if they maybe re-release the Night Sisters. I think it'd be cool. I have some Thrawn action figures that I haven't opened yet. I'm kind of waiting to do a review as I finish reading the Heir of the Empire novel. I've been working through that, but yeah, I'm going to finish up with some posing, some maybe a little bit of not really true diorama, but some diorama type pictures. And so, again, if you enjoyed this review and enjoy Baylan Skoll, we are in agreement. And again, I'd ask that you'd smash a like on this video. It just helps me know that I'm going in the right direction as I'm creating content. And subscribe. I just want to increase the enjoyment of all those that are collecting in the vintage collection and other Star Wars realms as well. And so we'll do some posing, and we'll see. Yeah, vintage collection did get it right. Unlike the Black Series, as they brought Shin Hati and Baylan Skoll out first. There is a height difference. This guy was like 6'4", 6'5". And in the Black Series, the way I understand it, they were the same height as they were released. So they really dropped the ball on that. And 3.75, as always, got it right. So thank you, Hasbro, for this action figure. This is a great one to add to our collection. And stay tuned for some more pictures. Again, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. God bless. This is Mando Mitchy, signing off.